AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Haliburton does it again. 5 out of 6 clutch shots. AllBall, the big Haliburton hater. What happened? Huh? You ain't think he was showing up? Do it again? Big, huh?
It hurts me to have to like really discuss. I really can't stand the Pacers, but I have to be honest. That was a hell of a game. I was wrong. I didn't give Indiana a chance, and mostly in part because they beat my Knicks. But in all seriousness, they're a very good basketball team, and they're coached very well. I think they match up wonderful against OKC. Guys like us up here, we actually watched the game, and for everybody that just never gave Indiana a chance, in all seriousness, I think OKC can lose this series. I still think they're the favorites. Favorites and should be the favorites. But we've seen as Knicks fans how one game can just change the whole dynamic of a series, and this is mindful of them in the Garden against us, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I think OKC, this is me, I think their heads are very big, pause. I think they're gassed up, and I think they look across to Indiana like how everybody else does. And you forget what Haliburton has done. Like I said, now he's in the same breath as Kobe Bean Bryant as far as what he's doing in the playoffs right now. They forget when you look across, you got Rick Carlisle over there as the head coach. And then people also forget you have a champion in a mismatched nightmare in Siakam. And then now you have the bench, McConnell and Obi Toppin playing out of their minds. So I think, last night, it didn't shock me that Indiana won. Is how they won. Because OKC had the game wrapped up. OKC has to win game 2 to Sunday night. Now OKC backs are against the wall because Indiana did what they were supposed to do, steal a game on the road. But I think the game was very exciting. I think if we could get games like last night for 6-7 games in the finals, because I would love to see what the stats was as far as people watching the game. I would love to see what that stat is.
It's the lowest rated finals since they've been tracking ratings since '88.
Right. So I think now last night helped for game 2 Sunday. I think now people are going to be locked in because, like me, always wrong. I can admit it. I was trying to make myself tell myself that I don't even got to watch this shit because OKC gonna run away with it. But now I'm locked in Sunday night. I want to see what's going to happen because if OKC go down 0-2, Lord have mercy. So, but in all seriousness, man, listen, what Haliburton is doing is insane. And before I pass the rock to Flea, what makes Indiana dangerous is Haliburton doesn't have to score 30 for them to win. Before he hit that game winner, he had 13. So I think it was an exciting game, a good game. You need that in the finals. But gotta give props to Haliburton. I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong, and it's killing me inside. Paul, I really don't want to admit it. But right now, Haliburton is one of the best point guards in the NBA because look where he has his team playing in the NBA Finals. And we all know when you get there, you have to be considered one of the best at your craft, at your position. So this is the first time ever that I had to say something positive about the Pacers in my life. And it's driving me crazy. Still fuck them, but today, gotta respect them. Great game. OKC better figure some things out because this is where, like Flea always say, and I know he gonna cook on this, in the finals, this is where coaching comes in play. And it's very clear Rick Carlisle knows what the fuck he's doing. He beat the Heatles. He found a way to use the plays he had on Dallas to beat LeBron James. D Wade and Chris Bosh. So listen, I'm really looking forward to seeing the outcome of this series, man. Because if Indiana wins this, the conversations we're gonna have to have about the Pacers and Haliburton and especially Rick Carlisle, wow, a lot of things are gonna have to change. But I think it's great for the NBA because it just shuts down the you gotta have three superstars and all this dumb shit. So it's a lot of parity with this finals, but great game last night. I was entertained. I loved it. I loved it. I tried to find a reason to not watch it, but got to shout out the Pacers and Haliburton. Came back and stole a game in OKC, which I thought wouldn't be done.
Fleet, what are your thoughts after this game one thriller?
I love basketball. I love basketball, right? And so you watching this, that's if you are a fan of the game, like just the purity of the game, you enjoyed last night, like OG said. A hell of a basketball game from beginning to end, right? It's tale of two halves. I saw Indiana look like a deer in headlights in the first half. And then I saw in the second half them look like a completely different basketball team. Like you turn the ball over almost 20 times in a half, that's like a recipe to lose, right? And they should have absolutely lost that game, being down 15 late. But this is their MO. They've been doing it all playoffs long. I was talking about our Knicks walking down Boston. Well, Indiana has just been walking down every opponent in the 2025 playoff. They've just been walking everybody down. They walked us down. They walked Cleveland down. They walked Milwaukee down, and now they're walking down the best team, from beginning to end this season. I think OG is absolutely right. The coaching is huge. Dagnall might have outcoached himself a little bit. He changed his starting lineup yesterday. He went small when the starting lineup that he always rolls out is like 80 and 18. He chooses the NBA Finals to now change the lineup, right? So that's what I be talking about. Like, yeah, we love adjustments. We love when coaches, do fly shit. But sometimes you got to stick to the script. Stick to what's working and trust your guys. I think we always been talking about trusting our guys. And I don't know. I mean, that's something he does, right? During the season, he rolls out different lineups. But it's the NBA Finals, man. Go with the lineup that works. And don't try to get cute because Carlisle is a hell of a coach. Like OG said, he's proven that time in and time again. We got to start thinking about the teams that this dude was leading. Like we forget Larry Brown led that 04 Pistons team to a championship. Carlisle had that team before he got there. That Indiana Pacers team that was in the Malice in the Palace, that's Carlisle's team. There's a bunch of different teams that he's led. The Dallas team that won the championship. And now you're looking at this Indiana Pacers team. So, he is an extremely underrated coach. When we talk about, the best of the best in this era, right? We don't have to go historically, but just in this era, 20, 30 years of coaching, he's one of the best. And he's proven that, especially on this level. I can't not say anything about Tyrese Haliburton. Again, he's not a guy that has to go get 30 for you to win the ball game, right? He almost had a triple-double last night, I think. He was filling the stat sheet up. And then when it's money time, you call his number and it's money time. He doesn't disappoint. He's ready to take the big shot. He doesn't look scared out there. Voice cracking, hooping like Steve Urkel. Just all the energy doesn't come off as a guy. He will bust my ass, but he will thoroughly bust your ass. If you look at him and take him for granted, he will thoroughly bust your ass. So we got to start taking him serious. I think, us as fans, I think we respect the game enough to know that he's a hell of a player. But I think the NBA community, like them, need to start to understand, stop taking this young man for granted. He's a hell of a basketball player. He's fearless. He has the confidence from the coach, so he's a complete extension from what Rick Carlisle is, and that match is just beautiful right now. So I was impressed with how they won that game last night. I was extremely impressed how they won that game. Do I have them winning the series? No, because I think that OKC is going to continue to capitalize on being the fact that they can turn them over. They turned them over 20 times in the first half. In the second half, I think they held them to like 5 turnovers. We know OKC is going to hound you on defense, and they did. They did last night. They did exactly what they do all the time. I just think this Indiana Pacers team is continuing to catch teams off guard, which makes no sense to me. How are they still catching you off guard? This is something they've been doing the last 2 months. Aside from OKC, they've been the best team in the NBA since January. So this Indiana Pacers team is for real. Their coach is for real. Their point guard is for real. And Siakam and the rest of the guys over there, they have a complete team. They talked about Rick Carlisle playing 11 guys almost 15 minutes a game this year. That's insane. That's relying on your bench. That's developing guys. That's trusting guys. It's a hell of a coaching job, and it's a hell of a performance by this Pacers team. And you got to give them credit for winning game 1 last night.
I think you hit it on the nose when it comes to Rick Carlisle in general, but the OKC coach just psyching himself out. I think even if for whatever reason, I don't think there's a reason why you should change your lineup. Make them change their lineup. And it shows a little fear or just uncertainty. At some point, they eventually put in, I think it was Hartenstein and Caruso, and then they went on a run. And I think they shortly benched Chet, or they benched Chet for Hartenstein, and then they got Jalen Williams out of there. If you're going to do all that, because OKC has been benching Hartenstein in the second half and starting Caruso in the second halves, but that's different than the start of a game. I don't care what sport you're playing. You won 68 games. You've been waiting for Chet Holmgren, and you assigned Isaiah Hartenstein. Caruso was either going to be off the bench, and if anyone should have started, should have been Caruso to put even more fear in the Pacers. That's it. Not was it Cason Wallace that started? Good kid,
they
but
switched the line. They went small.
Just I think that's where they were wrong, even though they got the 20 turnovers. And then I just think at this point the Pacers are playing the blueprint that they wrote with this
Fabian,
team.
this shit destiny, bro. It's starting to feel like destiny almost with this team. I'm sorry to cut you off. I meant to say that. Go ahead. But it just starting to feel like destiny, OG. They pull that game out in game 1.
Listen, before Fabian finished, don't be surprised Sunday night. They going in and win again. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Fabian. I won't be surprised.
And it's also OKC. The reason why you don't do that and you have to have the strong lineup to end the fourth quarter. 2 things. Jalen Williams hasn't proved that he's a number 2 yet. That's what these guys are doing. These guys are much has been made about their age, right? Oklahoma City is damn near the youngest team in the league at 24 years of age, and the Pacers are only 25, but they're almost in the middle of the pack. But another stat that this thing had, I just happened to pull it up. OKC, in terms of average age by minutes, I guess minutes played, OKC average minutes played is average age of the minutes played is at 25. And then the Pacers go to 26. So they're closer to that 30 years of age that the oldest team in the league is, which is the Clippers. So they're in the middle of the pack with that. AllBall hit something on the nose that I can't believe I forgot that Siakam was a champion. And, of course, Rick Carlisle's a champion. So you got 2 guys that have been there before, and Flea, and you always stress that AllBall just being there before. And how far off is SGA from playing the hero ball game that we get on Brunson about? That's part of their downfall with this. Like, if they're not calling the calls, now what? You're not getting them calls.
They let him play last night.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.